Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully created that connection. So now friend, in this video, I want to discuss about that error handling. Error handling means that is our route all that setup file. So if there have any issues in our page, then for the first time I want to display some of the 404 error. Okay, like better I want to make it as individually all that our error, like I name it as a 404. Okay, 404 not found handler. Okay, I name it as a 404 not found handler. So into this not found handler, you can actually create all that middleware in here rather than I want to segment it, then that will be actually better. So into our card, that is a chat project. Into the chat project folder, I want to create another new folder and I will name it as a middlewares. So all that our middlewares, I want to save it in here. Okay, so that is our middleware folder, and into this middleware folder I want to create another folder and I just name it as a common. Which middleware will be commons. All that our commons middleware I want to save in our particular this folder area as a commons. Okay, so now into this common folder I want to create another file. Okay, I want to create another file for this middleware and I just name it as error. Okay, error handler.js. So I simply created one of the file as a error handler.js. So into this error handler, for the first time I want to use I put some of the node as a 404 not found handler I want to create, right? Found handler. So this type of one of the handler first time I want to create. So for doing this I want to create one of the function. Okay, so that is our function, and into this function area I name it as a not found handler. So when you create one of the middleware, and here if you want to create some of the functions, every functions it should be pass three of these parameter. Remember, one is the request parameter, another will be as a response parameter, and also for next access that is another parameter as a next. Right, so then our next will be executed. So here I want to do into the next area. Into this next area I want to pass if you want to display this error in very locative way, I have already installed one of the HTTP errors. Remember, I have already installed one of the HTTP errors, one of the npm package. So if you search into the Google with the HTTP errors, then you will get a lot of the resources. So make that sure you install it. So when you install that HTTP error, and here they have one of the default method as a create errors. Okay, so now I want to call it, so that is our constant, and here I name it as a create error. Okay, so that is our create error. So with this create error here, if you want to access it, that will be we have to load it. We have to load this module. Our module name I have already installed it as HTTP errors. You can see. So now with this HTTP errors, we can actually modify our error in very nice way. But I show you, like that is how I take the things, our module name, I take it with this create errors, and now next. And here I just simply pass it. Okay, I simply pass this error, and for the first time our first parameter will be status. Okay, so that is one of the 404, so I want to pass as a 404 status. Okay, I have already discussed about that, what exactly that status is. So now when that will be not get any data, then that will be display our status code will be as a 404. And then I want to display the message. What type of message you want to display? Like I want to display as a your requested content was not found. So this type of one of the message, then that will be display. Okay friend, I hope it's very much clear to you. So that is our 404 not found handler. So this will be that here I have already loaded that next. Now that will be load our another default middleware. Another default middleware I make it as a default. Okay, default, and then error handler. So default error handler. So into this default error handler, that is one of the default one of the function. So I simply loaded this function and I just name it as a error handler. Okay, so that is one of the default one. So I make it as a error handler. So this method, okay, this method actually passed 4 of this parameter. One is the default object as a error. Okay, it should be passed another one as a default object as a error, and then it should be passed that request, then everything will be same, request and then response and then next. Okay, so I simply pass everything. And here one things you have to understand, Because with this function, just simply understand what exactly I am trying to say is very important. One of the part, so that is one of the default error handler. Okay, so that is our method name as a error handler. It's passed as a error and request, response, and the next. Great. So if you want to now handle our all that error request, because that will be the two type of error request. One is the JSON format error request, another will be as a HTML, because into this project I will actually use one of the HTML template. So into this HTML here, if you get some of the error, we have to manage it. And also if you want to access it, that will be one of the full stack project. So if you want to access that API, then also we have to handle our API request. Right, also here we have to handle both of these. We have to use that as a JSON data, because API which will be here. If you want to show some of the error message, then you have to make these things as a JSON format, right? Then that will be displayed into the API URL. And also if you want to access it into the HTML template, here also we have to manage our request. So don't worry, everything I will show you with the live example, then everything will be more clear. Like if you want to create some of the handle that error with the JSON format, then what exactly you have to do? That is our response, and then we have to make it as a JSON, right? So that is our JSON format data. Here we actually pass that all that our object data in here. So that is our JSON format data. But right now, as I told you, in this project we will use that HTML. Also we have to pass our error data in our HTML. So if you want to handle this HTML error data, then you have to pass that request. That means your all that response, and response will be as a render. Okay, that will be another function as a render. So that is a render, and with this render area here you have to pass your HTML file name. Like I name it as a error. Okay, I name it as a error. So also I want to do that I want to create this file. So I copy it, and in our view, okay, so into this view area I want to create another new file, and I just name it as a error.ea. That will be our extension. Our extension will be as EJS, right? So I simply create it as a EJS. Great. So I simply created it. So with this response, and that is our render, with this render we are able to access our view file. Okay, so that is our view template file. I name it as a error, and now that is our error, and that is our extension as EJX. Okay, so also if you want to pass on the message, okay, so here from with this render response, with this response area, if you want to pass some of the message, you can also pass it, because that is a first parameter. Into the second parameter area, here you can actually pass some of the object data. Okay, you can pass some of the object data, like I take one of the property as a title property, and into this title property I want to display some of the message as error page. Okay, I name it as a error page. So now I want to pass this type of one of the message. So that is our one of the object. Into the second parameter I pass one of the object, and into this object area I pass one of the property as a title, and into this title area I pass that error page. Okay, that is our message. So if you want to now access this message in our which page I have passed, I have already loaded our view page as an error, right? So that is our error view page. So here if you want to load it, I take one of the HTML template. So that is our HTML template with the exclamator. Here you can see everything is loaded successfully in here. So if you want to display it, like into the title area, I want to display this message. So if you want to display it, then you have to do that will be as a less than, and then the double percentage, and I want to close it. Okay, and after that you have to use that as is equal to, and then our property name, I pass that property name as a title, right? So that will be our title. So that is the simple things you have to remember. Okay, with this you can actually get this data. And also into this body, for dedication purpose I make it as a this is a error page. Okay, error page. So this type of the message I want to do and to display in our this error ESX file. So now if you want to display it, because every time our app will be loaded, right? So here I want to do from our error handler. So that is our error handler that I have created into the middleware common, and then error handler. So from to this position I want to pass two of this method. One is the not found handler, and another is the error handler. If you want to pass both of this, we have to export it, right? I have already discussed about that things with you. Then that will be as a module. Okay, module. So there is a module, and then the export. So module export, and from to this position I want to pass two of this parameter, that means two of this function. So for the object, with this object I want to pass that as a not found. So there is a not found one, and there is our another method. So I simply pass two of this method in here. Okay, so from to this position I can we are just simply export it. Right now we are able to import both of this method. So now I want to import both of this method in our app. Okay, here I want to import it. So that is all that our external. So better I want to do and to put some of the note. That is all that our external imports, right? So that is our external now imports. So I make it as external imports, and also here I want to make it as a internal imports. So that is the internal imports. Okay, so into this internal imports I want to take it. So that will be the constant variable. I name our two of this because that is our object two of this data. Here from here I export as a not found handler. I loaded this not found handler, and also there is another one as an error handler. So I simply loaded this error handler. Okay, both of this now we have to take it. So that will be the require, and require will be our which file location. Here we have to load this file location, right? So here we have to load this. That is in our you can see there is a middleware folder, and into this middleware there is a common folder, and into this common that is our error handler folder. It's automatically suggested. There is no worry about it. So I simply loaded our middleware, and into this from to this middleware I export both of these. I import everything in our app. So that is our not found and then error handler. So now I want to take both of these. Okay, I want to display both of these. So that is our 404 handler, and also I get another one as a common handler, right? So I take both of these as a common error handler. So that is a common error handler, and also that is a handler. So first of all I want to load this. So that will be the app. Okay, app, and then use our name. I name it for the 404. For the 404 I take that both of this as a not found handler, right? So that will be as a not found handler, and also for the common one that will be the app use. I hope friend every part is very clear, because I have actually I'm trying to explain everything very clearly. And now that is our 404 will be loaded, and also I input another one as a error handler. So error handler is for the common one, right? So that will be as a common error handler. So I simply loaded both of these in here. Great. So now if you check it, click as a save all, and now if you go to our terminal is running. You can see there have no error, everything is great. So our app listening is port 5000 and database connection successful. So right now I don't have any route. So that means right now I don't have any route. So automatically now that should be display our error handler message, right? That means here that is our common handler. So into this common handler I pass that is our error handler. I pass that as an error, right? So here I have already loaded one of the view file as a error view, and into this view our title will be updated, and also it will be displayed this message, right? So now if you want to check it, right now our port as a 5000, right? So our port is a 5000. If you go, there is a local host, and now our port will be as a 5000. So I simply loaded that 5000, click as a enter. Yes, you can see it's now successfully loaded our which page, that is our common page, and also you can see our title is updated as a error page, and now that is displayed as a this is a error page. I hope friend it's very much clear to you what exactly I have done. So right now I don't have any route, for the reasons it's not get that our 404, it's getting our common error, right? And with this common error I use that as a handler, as a error handler, and I have already imported this error handler from the middleware, common, and then error handler, right? So that is our function, and into this area I have created two of this function. One is the not found handler, another is the error handler. So now you can see I pass that as a render one of the view file, our view file name as a error. So for the reasons now right now our this view file is executed. Okay, you can see it's that is our the view file, and this view file is executed. I hope friend every part is very much clear to you. Okay, here everything is great. So we successfully loaded that error. So later we'll do a lot of work into this error area. I hope you like it very much. Okay, so right now I want to continue this process, and also I want to do from to this position I want to upload this project to the GitHub, and from to the next video you will get every lecture by lecture code. I hope it will help you a lot. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.